and welcome back to Roundtable Podcast. That was very radio.
That was very
I like
radio.
that. I'm Helix, the host. I knew that was going to happen. To my left is Born. Speak.
Hi.
We need to hear your voice.
No, but normally Legends goes first.
I know, but I was
Ladies
changing it up.
first.
Okay, right, fine. Yeah, I'm Born. Hi.
We need to distinguish our voices because they can't see us.
Oh, okay.
To my right is Legends.
How you doing? I'm
How
alright.
you doing?
How you doing?
So I've got a bit of a dilemma, lads. There's like another 3 podcasts that have popped up with the same name as us.
Wait, are they already established or are they fresh?
Similar timeline to us.
God, they're copying us.
That's interesting.
Like, there's one that's about a week after us. There's one that's like 3 weeks after us, and there's one that's been around for a while, but they've only just. So the channel's been around for a while, but they've only just started the podcast.
That's weird.
Yeah. And like, you know how I purposely removed the from the Roundtable Podcast
Yep.
to avoid the other podcast called the Roundtable Podcast?
Yep.
They've also done that. There's also one that's got quotes the and then Roundtable Podcast.
How do you deal with an issue like that?
Well, either change our names or we carry on until it's actually a problem.
Yeah, I would say, because we're in the beginning stages, personally, I would say just keep our distinguished style and keep it the way we are.
Yeah.
And hopefully the other 2 or 3 fizzle out,
And fail.
basically.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hope that they fail, but, you know, some people lose the passion, the desire, or they move on to different things.
Or we'll get slightly bigger than them and they'll go, oh shit, we need to change the name because they were here
Change
first.
the name, yeah. Well, what they'll do is they'll scroll to the bottom of our page and see who uploaded the video first.
Yep.
And then send us
Because that's exactly what I did.
Oh, you know what? I snapped that. Yeah, and then they would send us a huge email trying to discourage us from the name if
Yep.
they're immature. And if that doesn't work, then they'll change the name.
To which I'll ignore it because I don't even know if I'm logged into the emails.
Who is?
It would if it's anyone, it'll be me
Yeah.
because I have the login details for YouTube. I'm pretty sure I gave you guys the details for logging into the
You might have
YouTube
given
channel.
them to Legend, but not me.
I'm pretty sure I put them in the chat,
Which chat? The Discord or
the nerds one.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure I put them in there because it's
I put the login for the TikTok,
yeah.
but I don't remember seeing a login for anything else.
Maybe I asked if you guys wanted it.
We probably both said no.
Yeah.
I probably didn't even see the message.
To be fair,
You never do.
there's no point all of us having it.
Yeah.
No.
Like you are welcome to have it. I'm not stopping you from having it.
Oof. But that is a crazy dilemma because if, let's say, one of them becomes more popular than us, right? Because it can happen for one reason or another. Let's say they have a celebrity parent, bring them on and get all those numbers.
Or
those
their
juicy
marketing's
numbers.
better than ours.
Or their
Which
marketing.
currently they probably are because we've been lacking.
Advertisement isn't a strong point with us.
Plus
No.
plus we're on full-time work.
Well,
So
yeah,
it's kinda
but
difficult.
the problem we have is I keep promising to send you clips, and
Doesn't
then I
happen.
don't.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen.
But they're all prepped and ready to go. I just need to upload them to Google Drive and send them to you.
Well, you got the TikTok.
Yeah, but I don't know how to schedule anything.
I don't
And you
s- I
need
don't
to have a
schedule-
job.
I do have a job.
No, you need to have
Oh,
a
I
job
got
in the
what-
podcast. Because I'm the editor, the tech guy, basically. Bourne does all the notes.
Research.
Yep. And what do you do?
I'm the guest.
The guest.
No,
The
what-
guest.
it's a
The
pretty permanent
the
guest.
reoccurring guest.
Yep. Just
Oh.
me being here is a job. No, I'm joking.
In that case, I'm going to have to stop calling you by your stage name and start calling you by your government name.
Oh shit! Don't do that.
Full government name
Yep.
along with postcode and door number.
Rick included.
Shit.
That would be crazy.
Do you remember when I convinced the entire of our workplace that your government name was short for
Yeah.
something else, and then told everyone what that something else was?
And they all believed it.
Yep. To be fair,
They
actually,
still believe it, probably.
in fairness, my intention was to only convince like 1 or 2 people
They spread
that
it.
we were close to, and then they just spread it. Well, one person spread it like wildfire, and everyone kept coming up
You
to
know
both
who
of us.
not to tell
Yeah.
any secrets to.
It wasn't a secret.
No, you know who not to tell secrets.
Oh yeah,
to in the
him.
future.
But like, it was only meant to be like a little prank to those 2.
And we also know that you listen to the podcast, so you know exactly who you are.
Yeah. He knows who he is. We
Yeah.
discussed this earlier.
Yes, fine.
And we have no idea how you found this podcast. We're not mad about it. We just can't figure it out.
So please comment below how you found us.
I have shared it on my Instagram a couple times.
That's probably why.
So he's
probably
probably
why.
seen it on there, actually, yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
We need to start sharing it on our socials more. We need to start sharing it because we've not done that in a while.
Well, I'm waiting for you to fucking
No, I
send stuff
know,
on
I know.
so I can edit and upload.
I know.
Tom is very disappointed that he hasn't got anything to listen to.
What do you mean?
He listens to our TikTok.
Or you can come over to YouTube and watch the fucking podcast then.
I actually told him about it. He's like, oh, okay.
Oh. We need to get back into the DJ and TikTok as well.
Tom should be in. Tom
Huh?
told me to tell you something.
What's that?
If you want a DJ gig
Go on.
at Boom Battle Bar in Lakeside.
I'll
Sign up to this gigs thing.
Is
Gigs
this something
website.
we should be
I've
discussing
still-
on the live episode?
Oh, it makes no difference.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I've still got his number, so I'll drop him a message about that. You heard it here first, folks. Undisclosed is coming out of retirement
Again,
again for what, the 5th time in this decade.
I nearly bought a DDJ set the other day.
A DDJ set,
The DDJ, the small.
a
Little
controller.
It's a CDJ and a mixer put together.
Yeah, controller.
Yeah.
Depending on the brand, will depend on whether it's called a DDJ or just something else.
Pioneer.
Pioneer. So you've got with Pioneer, you've got XDJ and DDJ.
Oh,
Both are the same thing. They're just different models.
That was 150.
Oh, that's not bad. What year? What was it? Do you remember the numbers that came after it?
you just saw it.
I saw it. I was like, oh, okay.
Was it the same size as a laptop or twice the size of a laptop?
Probably same
To be
size.
fair, he probably didn't read it.
No. If you look at the picture, if
Yeah,
it's the same, if it's about the same size of a laptop,
Not your laptop, because your laptop was quite small. It was a little bit bigger than that one.
oh, okay, so that'll be a DDJ then.
Yeah.
But you can't use USB for that,
But this one has a USB port to it.
eh?
Yeah.
I've never seen DDJs with a USB port.
You need to
Yeah,
get
right,
with the
right, right.
times, old man. They're upgrading.
Well, I've never seen ones that small with a USB port. I've seen like the full sized ones. I'm intrigued now. While he's trying to find that, I should probably actually tell you what this episode is all about.
Or what this episode
That was
should
one
be
of them I
about.
was looking at.
Oh, okay. What?
Is that Facebook Marketplace?
That is Facebook Marketplace.
Oh dear.
So yeah, the next, not 2 episodes, but this is another 2-parter because as we mentioned before, in the last episode, not the last episode, the episode before, episode 7, we mentioned that we're now condensing our episodes down and splitting them into 2. So instead of doing a 45-minute to an hour long episode, we're now doing 2 30-minute episodes of the same topic. Because we're living in a TikTok culture. Like, people's attention span just isn't what they used to be.
Oh, the TikTok generation.
Yeah. On the topic of TikTok generations, we're living in kind of another era now of a massive platform.
What was that?
That being the Netflix era.
Oh.
Netflix era was ages ago, hence Netflix.
To be
and
fair,
chill.
I would
The
argue that the Netflix era
is
was
still
before
going.
TikTok.
Oh, it is. It was
It's
before
not as-
TikTok,
the
but
thing
it's
is,
still
it's-
going now.
it's
It's
not-
having a revival.
But is it?
It is.
Are you sure?
It's
Yeah.
the number 1 streaming platform in the world.
I mean, I don't doubt it because it's still used by people who can afford it.
Plus WWE moving over to Netflix, that's boosted them even more.
I thought it would have gone the opposite effect.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought WWE moving over would have had the opposite effect?
Yeah.
Well, no, because they haven't changed the. What the fuck are you on about?
You've completely bamboozled it.
You have, because he's made a joke that's gone directly over my
Oh,
head.
that's funny.
Basically saying WWE is shit, and
Oh,
it made everyone
that's
leave.
so funny.
I
And
mean,
I just went. Shh.
you can argue that all you like,
I like WWE, but you
But
just
to be
went
fair-
right over your head.
but statistics speak louder than opinions.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, so we're living in a Netflix era.
Mm-hmm.
let's be honest. Streaming platforms are in, TV's out.
Did you know that's Netflix's fault?
Oh, 100%. It's also the reason Blockbusters... Actually, no, that's not entirely true.
No, but
It's
did you
part
know,
of the reason
But
Blockbusters
did you know,
went.
right? No, because did you know that Netflix approached Blockbuster for a deal and they
Yep.
rejected it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know I would still be in my shower crying about that to this day because
I miss Blockbusters.
it doesn't exist anymore.
But, like, do you not remember... It's like the last Friday of the month... You and your mum or your dad go down to Netflix to pick... To Blockbusters.
Netflix.
Damn.
It could have been called Netflix if they went with a deal, but you and one of your parents went down to Blockbusters to pick out a film for the weekend. Then you'd go home and you'd watch it.
I mostly used it for games.
To be fair, I remember when they had games as well.
I mostly used it for games. I'm
But
not going to lie to you.
I wasn't... Well, back then I was very much... If I want a game, I must own the game. I cannot borrow the game because then I will damage the game.
This is what I would do, and I would specifically do this, right? I would get the game from Blockbuster, run home, play it for 2 days. If I liked the game, I would put it back and buy the game.
I mean, that's a good shout.
Yeah. Or if I didn't like the game, I would just hand it back into Blockbuster, put it back, never touch it again.
I mean, that's one way of doing it. How much knowledge do you have of Blockbusters?
None. Never went there.
Really?
Yeah.
You never went to Blockbusters? What did you just do?
Nothing.
What did you just
I
have?
was an active kid. I was out all
Yeah,
the time.
if-
Yeah,
anything-
so was I.
The reason why he's
But I
a
still
gamer
had-
is because of me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the first real console I remember you playing constantly was the PS3, and you only got one of those because of me. Most of your games console experience came from when you went to Sheep's. Because then him and his brother would get you to play their consoles.
Yeah.
When you came around. I specifically remember one of their PS3s going down the stairs because of a game of Black Ops.
Oh no!
Oh, right, yeah.
That was funny because we just walked through the door and it was just tumbling down the stairs. It was really funny.
But that is such a sheep thing. To be fair,
I think it was his brother.
that entire family, that is such a them thing. Because
I can't remember.
if it wasn't one of them raging, it's because it was 3 a.m. and they've pissed off their mum.
Yeah.
That's a yeah.
I love their mum. Like, she's basically a second mum to all of us.
She's so lovely.
But she's fucking scary.
How many mums do
I
you
mean,
have now?
that's basically like.
What do you mean? How many mums do I have now?
No, how many mums do we have?
Do we have?
Oh,
Obviously, we call your mum. I call our own Bourne's mum's mum.
enough that we could have power of attorney in 7 different countries.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sheep's mum is mum. And
Obviously.
then you used to call Kelly's mum.
Not to forget unofficial mother-in-laws.
What do you mean by that?
Your missus's mum and my missus's mum.
Oh right. Yeah.
Unofficial mother-in-laws
Yeah,
because we're not married.
To be fair, I think that Legend's girlfriend's mum might not like me.
No?
No, I think they might be racist. I don't know. They're posh.
They're not.
They're
No?
fully-
No.
Are they not?
No.
No,
They-
they're rich white. Surrounded by
Rich
white
white
people. Yeah. No black people in sight, right? I turned up, they were like, whoa, what's this?
Wait, so if I won the
A
lottery,
new, a new thing. Yes, Legends. If you won the lottery, you would be racist.
so I become racist, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're out of the group then.
Damn.
You can't do that. It's his group.
Oh, I'll make a
You'd
new
have to
group.
leave.
I'll be Trigger Co.
Go. We could just sue you for the spelling of trigger.
That's spelled different.
You'd have to put an E on the end instead.
You would get banned so quickly in so many places.
Oh yeah.
But-
no R, just the E.
But switching back to Netflix, right?
Which is kind of what we're meant to be
Which
here
is the
for.
point of what we're meant to be doing. We're not meant to be talking about possible racism and family dynamics. When you think of Netflix, what show comes to mind?
What show?
What show? Because obviously they have many deals and stuff like that.
Are we talking like show that I'd go and watch, or just
So
we're like fire and answer game? Someone goes Netflix, I go Stranger Things, for example.
okay, so best Netflix experience that you had.
Best Netflix experience.
Yeah, so let's say you pay, you're not really sure what to expect. Like maybe this is your first or second time. You jump in. What was the thing that you watched on Netflix that's like, okay, this is a good.
Go on, Legends. I'm intrigued by what your answer would be.
Because
I'm trying to think, 'cause I'm mostly on Prime.
You're mostly. To be fair, Supernatural on Prime.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. I was mainly watching that,
Um.
and then Grimm,
Yeah.
and The Boys.
No, to be fair, they're bangers of shows. To be fair, we need to come back to Amazon in the next Netflix episode because that is a very good point.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't know if it's necessarily my best experience.
Something to do with WWE, I bet you.
No, actually. But what surprised me the most was I'm very much not anti pop culture, but like if something's overly popular, it will put me off and I won't want to watch it.
Seriously?
Yep.
That's usually the reason why I check out something.
I.e. Stranger Things. I saw the cult following it got and I was like, I'm going to be disappointed because of all this hype, so I'm not going to watch it. And then I watched it and I was like, no, the hype was real. I understand.
Am I the only one who didn't like it?
So, if I had carried on watching after I think it was season 3, I think I'd probably be in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
But I stopped watching after season 3 because I saw the ratings plummet.
Season 1 was good, right? I hated it after season 2.
I think season 1 and 2 I really enjoyed. Season 3, I enjoyed it because it was Stranger Things, but not because it was necessarily good. Did you watch Stranger Things Legend?
I think I watched up to season 3.
Same as me then.
Yeah, and
I
I just
watched
got
season
bored
2.
of it.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
just didn't like the direction.
It's a bit like, do you remember Riverdale? Did you ever see that?
No.
I
So-
Remember, I'm the least
Oh, yeah, you're more...
More
games and anime.
Yeah. So, Riverdale had a very similar experience to...
I've done
um,
a fucking U-turn.
Yeah, it had a similar experience to Stranger Things where it went 1, 2, really, really fucking good, cult following.
It was
3,
It was strong.
4, cancelled.
Yeah.
There was another series actually.
So I
like
watched it to
that.
the end,
I
but
didn't.
I didn't enjoy it.
I couldn't get past 3.
Wait,
I don't even think I finished season 3.
what was it called? What was that series called? I'm trying to think.
What was that series called on Netflix
White
where there's
Walkers.
thousands of White Walkers?
It has White Walkers.
Oh,
in it. And I hear that the last season was so bad.
I can't think of what it is.
Tip
But
of my tongue.
I think both me and Legends are now frantically trying to Google it.
Investigation.
Is it just me, or did anyone else think to type into Google White Walker Netflix?
Yes. That's just
I really can't remember what it's called.
Was it like a crime drama?
No.
No, that's not the White
Swords,
Walkers from
old
Game
style,
of Thrones.
There was one
Game of
Game of Thrones.
That wasn't Netflix.
Was it not?
No, that was Sky.
Oh.
And HBO.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
I'm out of the loop. With
yeah,
a lot
very,
of this.
very.
I'm out of the loop with a lot of this.
And yeah, it's his job to do the notes.
Yeah, honestly, it is.
So I think this episode we kind of need to focus more on the rise of Netflix, where it came from. Because if I'm correct, it was like 2007 or something like that.
Much older. It's
Much older,
than that.
because it was a DVD rental company at first, wasn't it?
1997. It was founded on August 29th,
Oh, fucking hell.
1997.
And what was it? Like a DVD rental company.
DVD by mail
Oh,
rental
okay.
service. So
So
you would.
porn.
So you would. Wait, really?
Probably.
Oh.
What
my-
else you get in the mail that's in a DVD
So
you
it
can't
was
buy in
in
a Blockbusters?
2007. It transitioned to offering streaming video on demand. So that's what you was remembering.
Ah,
And then once streaming became popular, because it was easier to do things on the internet than it was to, pay for Sky, which is really. I checked the other day.
Yeah.
Paying for Sky is really expensive.
Oh, yeah.
these days. Sports channels and all that. And then once that happened, and everyone else saw how much they were making. And the thing is, I noticed specifically with Disney companies like that, they pulled their shows out of Netflix and moved them over.
sorry, I just got distracted by the recording software freezing and then carrying on. And my fucking heart dropped. I was like, no, not again.
So yeah, basically, what I'm saying is, when around the time that I got Netflix,
Yeah.
you had Simpsons on there, you had the Simpsons movies on there, you had
Yep. I missed the Simpsons
stuff
movie.
like that, right? The second that Disney Plus came out, you slowly saw them start cancelling
Yeah.
their deal
Changing over.
to move over to their things because they realized
Yep.
they were making so much, not millions, they were making billions at
Yeah.
the time. Oh my!
But-
it was so crazy.
I think that's one of the things with Netflix is they realised that places are getting their own like streaming services now, so they're like, shit, what do we do? Let's open a studio and make our own.
And to be fair,
9 out of 10, most of them are shit.
And to be fair,
no, not all of them.
Right, Netflix for me personally, other than YouTube, was a service that recommended me shows based on the stuff that I was already watching.
Yeah.
Which from memory, no other streaming platform was doing at the time. So they were using analytics to decide what you wanted to watch, or based on, the categories and things. I thought it was so clever.
Yeah.
That's how I branched out into a few shows that I would have never heard of before.
I had the same with Netflix for myself. Yeah. The amount of times I'd watch shows and it would go, oh, you've watched this, why don't you try this? And I was like, yeah, I'll try that. Because I remember watching Vikings on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. I've only just finished it because I was not ready. I got to the last season and I was like, I'm not ready, I can't do it.
So how long has it taken you to finish Sons?
I don't want... Sons? I finished it a few weeks ago.
When did you start? 3 years ago?
I think a little bit less than that. I'm watching the Mayans now. Disney Plus, those ones. But yeah, so I was watching Vikings on Netflix and I stopped watching it for a while. And then about a year later, it comes up going, oh, you watched Vikings? How about this? And it was a show called The Last Kingdom, which is still Vikings, but it's telling a different story at a different time. Like based on an actual person that existed in history. It was like the writer of the show was a descendant of this main character. And I was like, oh shit, this is a banger. It reminds me of Vikings. It scratches that itch without me having to finish Vikings and being upset that I finished Vikings.
That's fair.
Did you know that Netflix even has specific countries that it targets with its creations?
Really?
In other words, Squid Game was their attempt at getting South Koreans to start using Netflix more.
Let's try and hit.
And a show called Money Heist was their attempt at the Spanish and Mexican audiences to start watching Netflix a lot more.
Why did I think Money Heist was German?
Really?
No, because I haven't watched it. But for some reason, I thought I saw a trailer and it was German. They
have a vice grip on 190 countries.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. But they also have a large selection of programs and movies that aren't available in every country.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the licensing, right?
Well, yeah, so things like Arrow, The Flash, like the DC CW series, we can't watch those on Netflix in the UK. But I remember going to Belgium for a week away with the family, and I could watch it on Netflix there.
Yeah.
And in France. Like, so summer mainland Europe I could... mainland Europe I could watch it. But the UK I couldn't. And that was so baffling to me. Like, why can I watch it on something like Sky? Oh, that's probably why, because it's on Sky, so Netflix is like, let's not bother. That's just competition we don't need.
Yeah, to be fair. It could be licensing, or it could be the monopoly. They don't want a monopoly in that one.
Yeah, I think it also could be the fact that because it was on Sky, maybe they then weren't allowed to show it in the UK.
Which is interesting to
me. Yeah.
Like, going on a tangent slightly, I only learned recently that BBC was like the only broadcasting that the UK had until basically one company complained about monopoly, and then that's the reason why ITV exists. So BBC is government funded, and ITV is advertiser funded.
Yeah,
and it was only after ITV was that came about that advertising actually started coming to the UK.
That's how comes they can use BBC licensing and you have to pay them.
Yeah, but to be fair, I'm pretty sure BBC was the first broadcast company in the UK.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah. And then it had a monopoly.
Yeah, because it was the British Broadcast. Well, it's called the British Broadcast Company.
Yep.
And then I can't remember what year it was, but ITV International Television came around. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, or at least it was International Television. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it still stands for that.
I don't know. Let me look it up.
But I'm pretty sure you can get ITV in more than just the UK as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm almost certain I've watched it in Spain. Back in the day.
Hang
But that was like, going back, maybe 18 years ago. Because I was under 10, and I remember watching it in a hotel room in Mallorca. Because I got a fucking ear infection from the swimming pool.
Oh, Independent Television Authority.
Oh, okay.
So independent, yeah, it's just Independent Television. That's what it stands for.
I could be completely wrong. I could be talking out my arse with the international part then.
Yeah, it was independent because it was a stand against BBC.
Yeah, or maybe that's what. Oh, maybe I might have like. I may have. This may have been before like the days of Google on your phone. As a teenager, going, oh, that must be what the I in ITV is for, and then never searching it up after that.
Never fact checking yourself.
Well, because I never told anyone that's what I thought it was called. You know, like it was just a thought in my head. I went, yeah, that sounds reasonable, and then never thought about it again.
But yeah, Netflix rose very quickly because of how easy it is for. I mean, you could use it on your phone. You didn't have to wait till you get home. That's basically the goal, right? Use it on your phone.
But now it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, now it's too expensive. Obviously, running a company like that probably cost them too much, so they had to raise prices, right? But
well, not just rise prices, but they had to crack down on like password sharing.
That was the funniest part.
Yeah.
People were being so cheap. I remember the funniest thing I had ever heard was, do you remember when people used to get together, right? They were in a relationship, and the thing that would make them crash out the most when the relationship ended was
Netflix.
Changing your Netflix password and them going ballistic because they didn't finish their favourite show and they didn't want to pay for it.
Did you ever see? I'm not sure if you saw it, but there was like a picture doing the rounds of a little while back
Oh god.
of a guy who split up with his ex, and before she could change her passwords, or before she could delete his account, he edited his account to look like the settings of. Because the settings on Netflix, on the user settings, is a blank Netflix face, like just a smiley face, with edit users written underneath.
Yeah.
So he changed his account to look like that.
And she never noticed.
3 years he got away with it. 3 years.
3 years of free Netflix.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Madness.
I give him points.
Huh?
I give him points.
Yeah.
No, honestly.
I wonder if anyone else has ever thought of doing something similar. There's got to be.
Probably thousands of people.
100%. I mean, I remember there were whole Reddit threads and stuff of people just sharing their passwords. They were just like, just don't access my account. And you could watch whatever. Just use one of the spares. Yeah, they used to do that.
Do you remember when the GM at the club gave us his Netflix and put his Xbox in the office? So I used to do sales there. Do you remember that?
Yep.
You used to do sales?
I used to do. I'd ring people up and be like, "Hey, you want to buy a VIP booth?"
That's the reason the club's tanked.
I had to put a little voice on.
So funny. Yo.
Actually, no, I did quite well. I filled it up every week. Do you not remember?
Oh yeah, I also remember the GDPR. Is it GDPR?
We don't talk about that for legal reasons. We will talk about that off air.
Yeah.
Nothing ever went forward with it, but I don't want to take that risk.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get sued.
But yeah, so he puts his Xbox. We redecorated one of the offices, and he was like, "I don't use my Xbox. I'm going to bring it in and you can use it." So I had fair. And we used to sit there playing like FIFA, shit like that on my break, because he used to do maintenance while I was doing sales. Because I think this was just before COVID, and they were running a little bit low on funds, and they were like, "We can't afford to have you both on maintenance." So
yeah,
they didn't call me Helix, but Helix, we're putting you on sales, and I was like, fine. And they're like, you need to be here 7 days a week, and I was like, what? Fuck.
Yeah, couldn't afford to keep us both on maintenance, but threw us.
Well, I didn't get paid 7 days a week.
How many days did you get paid for?
Less than that, but I didn't get paid 7 days a week.
Oh.
It wasn't until when COVID came around and they had furlough, when the manager, do you remember our favourite manager?
Yep.
Put us. He changed our job titles around slightly, so we'd get better money on furlough. He put me down as full-time sales, so I got the full
package
of what I should have been getting. which was very good of him, but it's probably one of the reasons why they closed down in the end.
Decisions like that, really.
Yeah.
Um,
So, Legends, you said you're more of a Prime boy.
Mm.
Do you have any good experience with Netflix?
No, not really.
No?
No, very minimum. I'll go on there to watch a bit of anime every now and then, but
There's no... Even though you got Crunchyroll.
I cancelled that.
Oh, you cancelled it?
Yeah.
So, our deal, where I pay for Spotify,
You know what the bad thing is?
and you
I
pay...
stopped using Spotify as well.
So I've been paying for the two users on Spotify.
I use it every now and then, but I don't use it as much as I used to.
You hearing this bollocks?
that's crazy.
It's
I've
mainly
got nothing to say.
To add some context, me and Legends had a deal where we both wanted Crunchyroll, we both wanted Spotify, but like we were working at the club and we were on very little money. So I was like, alright, how about we get like the 2 users on Spotify? I'll pay for that, and then instead of you transferring me £7 a month, you pay for Crunchyroll and give me the password.
Which I did.
Which would explain why a few months ago when I went to log in, it was like, oh, your login details are incorrect. I was like, I can't bother to deal with it. I'll
Did
just
we
watch
explain
something
what
else.
happened?
Go on.
It got to a point where I didn't have a job,
Oh, that's a good point.
and I had to save money as much as I could, and that was one of the last things I held on to.
Well, had you
Because of
said, had you told me,
Because I cut that down to one user, and you was the one user.
Yeah.
I just kept it running.
but
for
had you told me this was occurring, I would have taken it over.
But now that I'm back in a job, I might set up a new one.
Can I have the password for that?
That's fine.
Since I'm still paying for hours Spotify.
That's fine.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
But yeah, I had to try and save money, and I kept it to one user for you.
This is the fucking dangers of password sharing, isn't it?
But I have a new thing to ask. Netflix originals. Which one have you watched?
I'm trying to think of the Netflix originals.
Same.
There are a lot of
What?
good ones.
Yeah, because I've watched a lot on Netflix, but what do we count as Netflix originals?
What Netflix has paid for, what Netflix developed
Yeah.
and made themselves.
I'm now kind of going through a list of it
Same.
and deciding. Oh, Glass Onion,
I'm sorry, what?
Glass Onion, Knives Out. That was a great film. I couldn't tell you what it's about, but I enjoyed it.
So there are 2 series
Yeah.
that kept me in Netflix for a while. Well, specifically Netflix originals. I watched a bunch of stuff on Netflix at the time.
Yeah.
Love and Robots
That's a good one.
Ooh,
and
that's a good
Black
one. Yeah.
Mirror.
Oh, I forgot about Black
Those
Mirror.
are the 2s, bro. Those were my 2 Vices Netflix originals. Love and Robots.
That's just weird as shit.
No, but
Those-
it's different mini stories.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's perfect for the TikTok generation. But it's little mini stories with their own style of animation per episode.
By
with
the way,
their
we
own
don't-
twists.
We don't
and
get
their
paid
own
for the
endings.
advertisement.
What?
We don't get paid for the advertisement.
I just
No.
enjoyed the series.
Oh, I tell you one that really surprised me that I've really enjoyed. The Gentleman.
That's a good one.
I've never seen that.
So, I'm pretty sure it's set in the Kingsman universe, but completely away from the Kingsman.
Yeah.
It follows a guy whose father dies, and then he inherits like a lordship and like a massive estate. But what he didn't know is that there was a weed farm, like a weed
I've
empire,
heard about this.
underneath this estate.
I've heard about this.
And he was trying to desperately get them off the land because he was like, I don't want to be associated with this. And eventually, the boss convinces him and gets him into the life, and he's like, I actually kind of like this life.
Yeah, I like the money. Yeah.
Yeah. Go on, Legends. Your favourite
I'm
one,
literally
if you've
going
watched
through the
any.
list and
You're trying to find one.
Brother.
Oh, come on.
Hey, man, that is-
Even me, the guy who forgets films and stuff all the time, I had one in the chamber.
Exactly. So it's you normally. Now it's just switched over to me.
Was Arcane a Netflix originals?
Oh,
That's a good question.
Geostorm.
Oh.
That's a good one.
I don't remember much of it, but I remember it existing.
Basically, they sent off a space station that controls the weather. Yep.
Okay.
And its thing was amazing. Like it would, if you wanted to snow in a certain region, it would snow in a certain region. If
Yeah.
you wanted to rain in another certain region, it's fine. and someone sabotaged it, so it would start causing like mass. Like you'll get hail the size of football smashed down and stuff like that in different places where he shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like I think they flooded the Saudi Arabia.
That's not the one with Sabrina Carpenter, is it?
Oh, it's been, no.
What one was she? She was in something similar.
Yeah, I don't know.
What was it? Geostorm.
Yeah.
That was 2017. That definitely wasn't. That definitely wasn't Sabrina Carpenter.
Good.
Actually, looking at it, I only recognise like 2 of the actors. Oh no, 3 of them. So it was Gerard Butler, Abby Cornish, Jim Sturgis, Alexandra Maria Lara, Ed Harris, Andy Garcia, Robert Sheehan. I recognise him from the Umbrella Academy, which is also another banger of a show.
There's another banger.
Eugenio DeBaz. I've definitely butchered some of these names. Daniel Wu. I've seen him. I can't remember what I've seen him in, but I recognise his name from the credits or something. And then I'm not going to carry on because I cannot pronounce those names and I don't want to fuck it up and offend someone.
No, okay, fair enough.
If I'm going to offend someone, it's going to be with my jokes, not with my mispronunciation of other people's names.
Oh, so you do have a moral line.
Yeah. Yeah, it kinda. It's not necessarily a moral line. It's more of a, if I'm going to upset someone, I want it to be intentional.
Okay.
Like, if I'm going to do it, let's do it right.
Okay.
However, we have now run out of time.
Have we?
Yep.
That was quick.
I know it goes really quick now that we've condensed the episodes, but we'll be back in a couple episodes time with more talking about the Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to carry on with this recording and we're going to go for the Netflix era, the era we're currently in. We're going to try and talk more of the current Netflix.
Okay.
As opposed to past of it.
Does anyone have the current Netflix? Has anyone got a subscription to the current Netflix?
I have.
I don't.
You don't. But then again, you're more of an anime person anyway.
Subscribe to Crunchyroll. That's it.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to stop this recording now.
Okay.
I'm just going to cut that section out. It's fine. So yeah, we'll be back in a couple episodes. But next up is episode 10.
Ooh.
We've been doing this for 10 episodes after.
That's good. That's good
Yeah.
news.
I'm quite impressed with this. We've been going for a while.
They keep me in a cage, locked up for every episode.
And that's
Don't
right,
be
you better
so
know your
dramatic.
place.
It's not a cage. It's a room under the stairs. We Harry Potter your ass.
It's like a scar on the forehead.
There's not enough room for him to move around.
I know the scar on your forehead is from when I smacked you at the door.
Get out of here.
Look, it's funny, but it will probably happen knowing us.
Oh yeah.
Let's be honest. What was that? Boom!
I actually got the cut from a fucking turbo.
A turbo?
Yeah, I had to reach into a cage that was like full of turbos, trying to find a specific grade,
Yeah.
and it all came down.
Jeez, that's a story for another day. But for now, I've been Helix. He's been Porn.
Okay.
He has been Legends. And we'll see you in the next episode of Round Tail Podcast. Bye for now.
Boy.
Boy.